Well, thanks for that, Laurie. And we are here to run through this polling we did today. We know that, that our members have been feeling this support from the community, but we wanted to make sure that, we had something that we could say a reputable pollster has actually polled people in the county, and this is what they believe. And so we worked with Environics, a well-known pollster, they conducted this poll over a couple of days in August, the 24th and the 25th. We really think there are messages here that the mayors who make up Essex County Council need to hear. And so it was a telephone survey that was done of 1,081 residents. Now, often pollsters will use a sample size of 1,000 people to tell you what the entire province of Ontario thinks. So for, the population of Essex County, this is an unusual sample size, but we asked the pollster to oversample so we could have as accurate as possible a result. We also didn't sugarcoat the language in this poll. We asked people specifically about the strike. That word can be a charged word. We made sure people knew that that the library workers were members of a union, members of CUPE. And it's important to note that 2/3 of the people that we surveyed aren't members of a union at all. And what we found was, to begin with, there's high knowledge of this strike. Obviously, more than 80% of folks that we talked to, that the polling company polled, know about this strike. And I think that is no surprise. It's been a long dispute, and these communities are quite close-knit, so that might not be as surprising. What we also discovered is that 2/3 of the people we talked to use their libraries, many on a regular basis, but and some less, a couple times a month, some less than that. But these are services that more than 2/3 of the folks in these communities rely on and use on a regular basis, and that demonstrates their overall importance. Even when you think about that number, that it's 2/3 of people we talked to who use the library, when we asked people, have you been directly impacted? Almost half of the people we talked to said that their family had been directly impacted by the strike. It's considerable when you realize that not everyone actually does use the library, the majority do, but it's a significant number of people who've been impacted. We asked folks whether they think the mayors who make up the county council are doing a good job in handling the situation, and 65% said that they believe they're doing a poor job. We asked people, who do you sympathize with? Only 8% of people sympathized with the mayors and the county council. 60% of the people we talked to said they sympathize with the library workers. That's more than 7 times how people are feeling supportive of their local politicians. We asked people, whose responsibility is it to resolve this dispute? And 2/3 of the people we talked to said it is the responsibility of the elected mayors on county council to set a mandate to resolve this strike. That's a strong message because, when 2/3 of folks believe it's your job to do something, we think that it should be persuasive to politicians to actually do it. Now, for those of you who've been covering the strike for some time, this next result might be quite interesting and wasn't necessarily what we expected. We asked straight out, do you think it's fair to take away people's sick leave? And what we found was 67% of the people we talked to said it was wrong. That is an important result because there might be mayors who make up this council who've been kind of hanging their hat on the idea that when you come down to the nub of it, the issue that the strike is about, that most people won't think it's unreasonable to try to unilaterally change this. And if they had been thinking that way, this poll shows them that they're wrong. We finally asked people that we polled, the way that the mayors and are handling this strike, could that impact the way you vote in the next election? And we found that half of the people we talked to said it will impact the way they vote. Now, any local politician that imagines that they might lose half of their support should, think seriously about that, because they won't be a local politician for long. Our members have seen the support and have felt the support, as Laurie said, on the picket lines, but we wanted them and us to know what exactly people were feeling across the entire county. And that's what these results confirm.